The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome everybody. It's Scott Vinson. I want to welcome you to our webinar today. We have a great presentation prepared for you. I expect this presentation to run about 45 minutes. We will open up the end of today's presentation for questions and answers. In fact, we highly encourage that you do participate by asking questions of us today. So today's subject, work smarter, think bigger, make more, the next generation of client prospecting. We're going to be talking about really what's happening in this world of mortgage and real estate. And so first and foremost, I want to make sure that if you're in mortgage or you're in real estate and your job is primarily to go out and find and source new clients, do a good job for those clients, close their deal, and earn a commission, then you're in the right spot. In fact, the strategies that we're going to teach you today are going to show you how to really do that more efficiently, more effectively, and more affordably than you've ever thought of doing it before. So we're going to really roll back the curtain and show you those things. I appreciate you being here today and cognizant of your time. I want to make the most efficient use of your time. I'm going to put a few housekeeping things here real quickly, and then we're going to get rolling right into the meat of today's subject. Now, there were just about 350 of you that had registered for today's webinar. I see the attendee list is climbing now as people are logging in for our bottom of the hour start time. We do have to put you in a listen-only mode only because there would be a lot of background noise with hundreds of you participating in a webinar. I hope you can understand that. But I do not want it to prohibit you from asking questions. So you'll see up near the top right-hand corner of your screen, there is a webinar toolbar. There's a little orange arrow, and as you hit that orange arrow with your mouse, you'll see that it expands and contracts, and you'll also see as you expand that webinar toolbar to show it, there's a spot right there where it says enter a question for staff. And so that's a great way for you to be able to ask questions of me today. I'll keep an eye on that as I am conducting this live from the comfort of my office in Bellevue, Washington. Now, as we get started, I do want to make sure that we can test that question button. So I came up with a little game we're going to play. It's called Fact or Fiction. And I do ask that you do pay attention to this. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to show a statistic on the screen. It says 1% right there. And then we're going to, thanks, Jack, 1% is a fact, right? Perfect. Here's what it says. 1% is how much mortgage interest rates have there's a typo, have increased since June. How about that? Fact or fiction? Thank you, Priscilla. Rick, fact. It's actually true. Since June of this year, rates have jumped considerably. I think with the state of what's happening in this marketplace, there are things that we can help you do to prepare for this, what we call post-refi boom. So whether you're in real estate or in mortgage, it's what we call a ripple effect, and we're seeing it all around us. Here's another one. 40% fewer mortgage loan applications have been taken due to rising interest rates and the windup of the summer home buyers market. Fact or fiction? Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Chris. Look at that. Webinar toolbar does work. Jim, thank you very much. Andre, thank you very much. Aaron, thank you very much. Susan, thank you. Andy, thank you. Art, thank you very much. So absolutely, that is a fact, 1% increase. So if you're in real estate, there is an effect, right? People aren't always cash buyers. And so getting in front of more people that need you is really something that we're going to focus on today. Here's another one, 95%. You'll like this one. 95% of all real estate agents and mortgage professionals never make any more money than it takes to break even. We'll give you a chance here on the webinar toolbar. There's lots of facts coming up. And absolutely, I don't know if that's a fact or not, but there are experts that I've spoken to that coach thousands of professionals that say that probably is the truth. 95% of all real estate agents, mortgage professionals never make any more money than it takes to break even. There might be a few of you on here. In fact, I do these webinars, and what I find out, and personally by myself attending webinars, is usually attend webinars because there's something not quite right about your business. So whether you're at that point right now looking for ways to get above or beyond what you could normally do, we're going to help you do that today. Here's another one. 42.7% of all statistics are made up on the spot. You like that one, don't you? Now, I don't want that to discredit my fact or fiction game, but the stats and what's out there in the press, it doesn't lie. Here's some facts. The headlines prove a grim forecast. Citigroup announcing 1,000 layoffs. Wells Fargo eliminated more than 4,000 jobs. Bank of America cut 2,100 jobs, and J.P. Morgan plans to eliminate over 15,000 jobs in the next few months. So if you are worried, a little bit worried, about becoming a casualty or being impacted by these changes, let's fix it for you. There are some things that you can do to really solidify your position and really, I don't know if you can completely 100% ward off what's going to happen with this industry, but you can prepare for it. And over the next 40 minutes, I'm going to show you the simplest, easiest ways to prepare for that so that you don't see a hiccup. I want to give you some tips to get maximum value out of my presentation today. I work very hard to make sure that I can provide you good presentations. One thing I'm going to ask you to come to this webinar with is an open mind. And I want you to open your mind to the positive, what if? Now, what if you were to take the strategy that I reveal for you today and actually do something with it? What if what it is I'm going to show you really helps you double or triple your business and go from where you are, maybe a 1 or 2 transaction a month person, to a 9 or 12 month transaction person, despite what the next few months have for us in interest rate changes. Now, this is a tough one to ask of you because you're all glued to your cell phones. Just turn it off for the next 40 minutes. And I would ask that, and I can actually see on this webinar toolbar whether or not you're paying attention. I can tell whether or not my window of this presentation is the foremost window of your screen. So at the end of this, it gives me a report. If you're 60% attentive, that means that 40% of the time you were paying attention to other stuff. Now, for the next 40 minutes, I think it's very important that you take out a notepad and that you do take notes and that you are prepared to ask me questions. In fact, I'm going to ask you that interaction is recommended. It's necessary. And those of you that are already answering this fact or fiction, I thank you very much for doing that. That tells me that you're paying attention. And people that show up, pay attention, are really the ones that would likely, if you do what I say today, and I'll show you exactly a step-by-step process that could help you double or triple your business. If you do that, right, where are you going to be? And about 80% of you on this call are going to do nothing with what I tell you. 20% will, and it's likely that the 20% will double or triple the business. So what group are you in? Here we go. Now, I put a big promise out there when I delivered invitations to all of your inboxes. I put it out there on social network. I said, this webinar, I'm going to teach you the best way to attract new quality clients. And that new quality clients are going to be people that are going to be needing to buy and sell real estate. In my webinar invitation, I said the most effective way to generate new business might be from your past clients, but when those past clients are at 3 and 4%, can you expect any more business out of your past clients? I'm going to show you an effective way to generate new business from those clients, even if they're already at historically low interest rates. I'm not going to tell you how yet. I will in my presentation. And then the number one way to work with more affluent clients so that you can work smarter, think bigger, make more, closing fewer deals and earning more money, it can happen. It can be a reality if you follow it, what it is that I'm going to teach you today. And then for those of you that stick it through and stay through this whole presentation, and if you've just joined us, this presentation is going to run 45 minutes. I'm going to reveal for you near the end of this presentation an exact formula that can help you exit this industry with something of incredible value. Much like an insurance agent can build a book of business and sell it to somebody, I'll show you how to take your business, your book of clients, your book of business, and potentially parlay that into something that could lead to your exit strategy. Wouldn't that be a good thing? I don't think any coaches or trainers are out there teaching you how to exit this industry. I'm going to give that for you today. Let me show you and share with you a little bit about myself as we get going. It'll make you feel more comfortable with me. I'm considered the nation's foremost authority on workplace marketing. I've achieved that over the last 14 years of my 23-year career. In fact, about 9 years into my career, and I was a mortgage lender for 23 years, very successful one. But about 9 years into my career, I decided that I needed to do something that everybody else in my town would never think of doing, never would have the, you know what, the cojones to go out and do. I actually learned how to become an effective workplace marketer in my city and practice my skills here in the Bellevue, Washington area, Seattle area. This is a picture of my lovely family. I'm pretty blessed to have 2 beautiful women in my family, my wife Denise and my daughter Madison. My wife Denise works with me in my business. In fact, she's helped me build a company called Benefit IQ that offers a turnkey workplace marketing system to mortgage and real estate professionals across the United States, a turnkey system, something that I'll share with you near the end of this presentation today too. And through people like you, people that have aspirations of going out and building more business. They've actually helped me build the Home Benefit IQ program into the nation's most widely accepted real estate benefit plans, serving 3,400 workplaces, roughly about somewhere between 3.5 and 4 million working Americans access their mortgage and real estate service providers, people like you, through this platform. So I'll give you a chance to figure out how you might be able to participate. I'm not going to promise to hire you. I'm not going to tell you that you need to leave your place of employment or your broker. I'm not going to tell you you need to change what it is that you're doing very much, but what it is I'm going to teach will help supplement what it is that you're doing. So today, on my presentation, in this webinar today, I want to see if you are somebody that can get to the point where you want to be a top producer. I've been creating top producers since 2004. I work with a lot of top producers in doing what it is I'm going to reveal for you today. But today I'm going to ask you to do something that's vitally important to the growth of your business. And it's pretty simple. In fact, it might even help you survive this post-refi boom. At the end of this call, I'm going to ask you to make a simple decision. And the simple decision I'm going to ask you to make is whether or not you're somebody that is going to grow your business or not. Grow your business or not. It's pretty darn simple. Here we go. Now, one more fact or fiction as we get going. If you want to close more transactions, you need to work with more clients. Let me know if you think that's fact or fiction. On your webinar toolbar, you can post that. Thank you, Art. Thank you very much. It is a fact. And I think that's something that's a misnomer. When you get into this business, like I got into the business 23 years ago, my first boss said, Scott, if more people know you, know what you do for a living, the better chance you're going to have of earning business. There are some things that you can do where it doesn't have to be all about you going out and having to meet people or prospect. That takes a lot of work, and it's probably the biggest decision most mortgage and real estate sales professionals have to make in their lives. How do you go about going and finding your clients? And I have a question for you. Does anyone know you? Do people in your community know who you are? Do people in your community, are they told to come to you because other experts in your community are saying, hey, go to Andre, go to Aaron. I'm in the A's on this list. Let me scroll all the way down this list. There's a couple hundred of you on here. Renee, Renata White, Reggie Ross. Are people telling people to come to you in your community because you're an expert at what you do? As a mortgage or real estate professional, what can you do today to protect your future? There's really only a couple of things that you can do. One, you can create a stream of predictable or reliable cash flow. That means clients coming to you so that you can actively pursue your business, close your deals, and passively generate new business. I'll show you how to do that today. That's predictability and reliability of your clients. You can work with better and bigger clients because if you close fewer deals, there is an opportunity for you to make more money. That's called a higher gross profit margin per client. Wouldn't that be nice, working with fewer people and making more money? But there's one thing that's true that you can do. Here it is. You have to today commit to whether or not you're going to grow your business. And if you're a person that's going to want to grow your business, let me show you, in my 23-year career, the easiest, fastest, quickest, most efficient, most effective way to grow your business. There are 3 ways in this business as a mortgage sales professional or a real estate sales professional to generate clients. There's only 3 ways. You can buy your business. You buy your business, right? You go through a bunch of leads to get maybe one appointment. One appointment might turn into one client, one commission. You have to work pretty feverishly at that and stick with it. You can wait for your business. That seems to have been the plan for most mortgage and real estate professionals over the past few years with historically low interest rates. The phone just rang. People called you. Past clients called you back, said, hey, I've been thinking about this for some time. I need to do something right now and take advantage of these low rates. Maybe you're a word-of-mouth marketer and you rely on referrals. That's kind of a wait-for-it strategy, but by far the most effective, and the top producers in this world do this all. They go out and get their business. So let me show you a strategy that's going to help you break this old mold. In fact, the #1 mistake most all mortgage and real estate professionals are making right now is they're stuck in this old way of going out and finding clientele. So I'm going to give you a solution here today. One way that you can solidify your position at work, one way that you can do more for the companies that you work for or more for yourself as your own company is to generate more clients and close more deals. And you have to really pay attention to what that way is. Most of you that are on this call, if I were to interview you today, you would probably tell me if I asked you, what's the #1 way you go out and find your clients? And you would probably say, I'm a word-of-mouth marketer, Scott. I'm a by referral marketing expert. I get almost all my leads and all my deals because people are sending people to me. Our recent poll, last year we polled 11,000 mortgage and real estate professionals. And those were the 2 predominant ways that they used to get their business. Those additional findings that we found from this poll is that it starts to fail to produce the quality and quantity of new clients that will successfully grow a long-term profitable business. So there's some ways that can make you more profitable right now. The old way, it's time-consuming. There's a lot of realtors on this call today. Realtors, you're calling just listed FSBOs, expireds. You're calling your sphere of influence. Mortgage lenders that are on this call, you're calling through your past client databases. You're dusting off those old files and seeing if somebody needs a refi. The refis are shrinking at a record pace right now. How do you go out and find new purchase business? I'm going to show you how to do it with a new way, a new strategy, so it's not time-consuming, it's not costly, it's not unreliable, it won't be producing you less than perfect quantity and quality of clients. If you're really falling victim to the old way of going out and getting clients, word-of-mouth marketing, by referral marketing, you're going to be leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Let me show you how to get those $1,000 back in a second. We call that a B2C strategy, business to client. It works like this. You go out and find a client, you close a deal. You impress upon that client that you've done a good enough job for them to earn a referral from them. You close another deal. You stay in contact with those clients, and maybe if you do a good enough job staying in contact with those clients, they choose to use you again later. And then they refer you somebody else. It's not a bad way. That's kept you in this business for as long as you have. There's a lot of people that make decent money doing this. But the lifetime value of that client, you're really limiting yourself. So let me show you why now is the time for a change, a breakthrough opportunity, giving you a new way of prospecting that you probably are not prospecting this way right now. And I'll say it's not technically prospecting if they call you, they being the consumer. And we want to get your phones ringing. Do I want to call 100 people to get one client, or contact one local business and potentially have hundreds of new clients? This strategy is a no-brainer. That's a quote from somebody that I work with for a very long time. He changed his business overnight, was able to change his business where he wasn't having to go out and start his business over every single month. When he closed out a good month, trying to figure out where the next transaction was going to come from. Maybe that's you. Are you starting your business over every month? Let's fix it. I'm going to show you a formula for success today that would have employers just like this, sending employees to you month after month, year after year, decade after decade. Even after you exit this industry, you would still have employers maybe calling you, asking you if you could help one of their employees, if one of their employees needed to buy or sell or finance their most valuable asset, real estate. How do you do that? How do you go about that strategy? We really call it exponential marketing. If you could have 4 businesses in your community that have agreed to send their employees to you when they hear their employees talking about it at the water cooler, in the break room, at the coffee maker, and it happens day in and day out, think about it. There are employees in your community that are going to work. They're spending 40, 50, 60 hours a week at work. They're not always talking about work. There's some stats out there. It says 92% of employees are losing sleep due to financial worries. Whether that's all about how to buy a home, how to sell a home, how to finance a home, I know a certain percent of them are. And we're going to work through that statistic right now to show you that a workplace marketing formula, what we call B2B marketing, will make you smarter, more efficient, where they'll be able to exponentially market your services to thousands of people through 1 or 2 key points of contact. It works like this. Now, you have clients in your database. Those clients probably right now are collecting dust because they're already in homes and loans at 3 and 4%. There's something that you could do today, and I'm going to give you this as homework. I want you to call a client tonight, a past client. And it might go like this. Right up here it says it, right? Hey, thanks for letting me help you last April or in June into that home on Elm Street. I can't believe it's already been 3 or 4 months. We got you in at the right time. Rates have gone up 1 full % since I've helped you. Now, I'm not calling you today to ask you for a referral like I normally call, because I hate making those calls as much as you hate getting those calls. But I have a quick question for you today. How many people work at your company? Now, your clients are going to tell you. If you're a realtor, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage because the lenders that are on this call, you have an exact roadmap to be able to go to your past clients and ask them, would they introduce you to the place of their work? Would they introduce you to the head of HR? Would they introduce you to the benefits manager that works at their company? And if you're good enough, aren't you good enough to help all their coworkers when their coworkers need to buy or sell their most valuable asset? I think so. And that's what my expertise is, and that's what I want to share with you today. For 14 years, I've taught people like you to be able to go to these workplaces and become the preferred provider so that all those employees there are told to use you. When you look at that, right, look at the lifetime value of your single client. It goes way up. If that client works at a hospital and that hospital has 2,500 or 2,900 or 6,000 employees, what can that mean to you over your career if you're the preferred provider? If that hospital endorses you as the go-to person when their people need to buy or sell, right? Visualize it. Take a look at that. That's what your business starts to look like. Now you're not scrambling to go out and find one client here, one client there, and hope somebody gives you a referral. You have a book of business, almost like a route. The software company with 375 employees, maybe you only have to contact that HR manager once a month. The optical center with 27 employees, maybe you don't even bother with that one because it's not giving you a high enough yield or high enough return. But you have a past client that probably works at that hospital. If that hospital has 2,400 employees, that could result in 30 to 50 annual referrals so that you don't have to worry where your deals come from. You might not have to do any sort of marketing to get your business. Now, one of the biggest challenges that mortgage and real estate professionals have is where they go and find their business. It's usually left up to you. When you got into the industry, it's easy for your bosses to teach you how to deal with a client. If you're in mortgage, they teach you how to get good faith estimates put together, how to put proposals together. But who are you proposing to? Who are you presenting to? As a realtor, your boss could teach you how to go out and make a great listing presentation, but who do you go and make a listing presentation to? You have to land those deals. So if you had people calling you, then problem solved. You have more clientele. One of the most common complaints businesses have right now, mortgage companies, real estate companies have, is they don't have enough customers for their salespeople. Inventory has been an issue as well, but if you had more clients, certainly the inventory would come. And unless you have a big, huge advertising budget, how are you going to go out and find clients to keep you going through this environment that we're in? There's three primary reasons you need to stick through this presentation today, because I'm going to unveil to you this strategy that's going to give you a passive way to generate prospects. Not just any prospect either. The best. Think about it. If you were working with 4 engineering firms and the average income of those engineers was $150,000, are you now working with better clients than you worked with in the past? That would create leverage for you because now you only have to deal with fewer of those clients to make the same kind of money you used to make, and that gives you more time. If you're looking to get to consumers that won't shop you, there's no better way. If you get the endorsement of a workplace telling their employees to come to you, it's very unlikely that employee is going to go elsewhere because they trust what their employer tells them. They use the benefit programs the employer gives them. I'm going to tell you something. There's some of you on this call said, Scott, this is not a new prospecting strategy. I was introduced to this sort of strategy 9 years ago. Okay? Let me tell you this. What we provide to you is a way that you would never have to go out and cold call a business. You would never have to go out and struggle to find another client. If you had the proper training to work with these clubs, unions, school districts, employers in your community, you would have a winning combination. And I would teach you how to go out there as if success is for certain. Every employer in your community needs a resource like you. I used a lot of statistics at the beginning of this presentation. There's a statistic I didn't put on a slide, but in a recent poll of 450 businesses across the United States, top HR managers were polled. 67% of those HR managers said they would likely allow an expert that knows finance or financial information, how to buy homes, sell homes, finance homes, in the door to work with their staff members. It's one of their needs right now, and you can provide a great solution for them. There's successful agents that I work with. Let me tell you a story or two about them. I'll talk about the second one down that's going to show up on your screen in just a moment. Let's see if we can get it working. Linda H. It's the second one down in here. I've been thinking way too small. You gave me the courage to connect with the school district, the gas company, the cable company, our healthcare services company, and smaller business owners. That's something that I could do for you too. Do you think Linda worries about where her next transaction is going to come because she has those businesses sending their employees to her? She's the go-to person. She's been endorsed by those companies to their employees. It can help you take your business to the next level. If you're in mortgage, listen up. Rhonda, went well last night. Great news. Got 2 quality apps on the spot. I'm ready for more. Bring it on. Linda, the bottom one. She set up a program for the city's employees. Within 2 weeks, she was getting deals. Now that she can say that the city has her program, her benefit, her as the provider of mortgage services for its employees, do you think it's easy for her to go to any business in her city and say, hey, the city uses me, how about you? It could happen. To survive this post-refi boom, you must use the F words. Now, the F words, you might think, you know, what that F word is. I'm going to give you a little bit different take on it. There's 3 F words that I've learned recently. One is that you need to finish what you started. Some of you have a great book of business already. You've put a lot of people into homes and loans. Those people, they're 3 or 4%. You're not likely going to see a lot of repeat business. So I want you to finish what you started. Call those clients back tonight, tomorrow. It might take you a week, but start chatting with them. Ask them more questions. Hey, where do you work? Hey, does your company offer you a real estate benefit program? Oh, they don't? Oh, well, who there could I talk to? That's going to help you finish what you started. You've made great connection with clients. Now you got to go and find ways to make more money out of those people and exponentially market to them. Focus. There's another F word for you. It does take some focus. It takes some work. I know 14 years ago, the first company that endorsed me as their lender of choice was a company my wife worked for with 165 employees. Quickly after I made the presentation to the director of payroll, I found by doing my first little lunch and learn for that employer, it was a way for me to generate 7 or 8 applications in my pipeline, and out of those 7 or 8, I think 5 or 6 of them ended up closing. I think that first lunch and learn, I credit it for making me my probably about $40,000 or $50,000. It did take some focus because the next company I went to, I had to focus even more fast. That's something that right now most of you probably have at the top of your mind. You would much rather be home with your family than you would be at work. I hope so, unless you're a little crazed. But I am. I've gotten to that point in my career. I want things to happen fast. What's the fastest way for you to double or triple your business? It's not working a little bit harder. It's not calling one more client and asking them for a referral. That's too slow. You'll never grow the kind of database and the kind of exposure that you need to be out there in this world making a difference. I want to help you. If you're at this point, and I'm going to ask you to make a commitment right now, if you're on this webinar and you're perfectly fine with the way your business is working right now, the rest of this presentation isn't for you. If you're on this webinar and you need to or want to grow a better business, a more efficient business, a more profitable business, a predictable business that you could sell someday, stick with me here. Let's finish this up. My company is called Benefit IQ. Many of you, since you've gone to this webinar, if you're like me, you probably already have gone to our company's website. You'll see that we sell a product. We actually do. Our company has designed patented technology. It's called affinity marketing technology that we license to people like you. Would help you get more quality prospects. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Our company has designed and developed turnkey resources, proposals that you could be sending to employers, email templates that you could send to past clients asking them if they would get you into their company so that you could help more of their coworkers when it comes time to buying or selling or financing homes. We have all those resources done for you. And because we have, it's made our company the nation's top workplace marketing platform. We work with about 700 people like you right now. We're growing as a company as well. And we want to help you too. The training and support and accountability that you need. Now, there's a decision that you'd make if you're going to grow your business. It takes work. And if you don't have accountability and you don't have training and you don't have support, it's hard to get there. Now, I do see some people leaving this presentation. Those are people either that have it figured out, don't need any more business, or just wouldn't want businesses endorsing their services to employees. So let me ask this real fast so we can maybe go forward together in the way that you want me to go forward. I'm going to post something on the screen right now. And you'll see it. It's going to ask for your interaction. How many companies in your area would you like to have endorsing you to all of their employees? And let's see where that is. Now, if you're somebody down there below that's going to click 0, then this is probably an exit time for this webinar. And I promise I'm going to get into the meat of how this is done, and I'm going to show you how simple it is as well. I appreciate those that are on here. Some of you have some great lofty goals. Right now in the early poll, over 40% of you would like to have 16 or more businesses in their community endorsing you as their preferred provider for all their employees. Thank you to the 57. Let me post this so you guys can kind of see what goals are. Now, one thing about a workplace marketing strategy is that you can grow the kind of business you want to grow, whether it's big or small. It would work like the volume control on your radio. If you want more business, guess what? You go out and set up one more company. If you want more business out of that business, you increase the frequency of your communication. Let me close that out. Thank you for participating in that. Let me share. Here's what it looked like. So 47% said 16 or more businesses. 25% said 6 to 10. The very successful people I work with have about a half a dozen that they work with, and that gives them all the business they ever want, a half a dozen businesses. So we'll get in through some numbers here. Let me hide that out. I want to introduce you to a way that you don't have to recreate the wheel. My company has actually taken the bumps and bruises for you. What we do is we produce a turnkey, ready-made benefit program called Home Benefit IQ. If you were to license this from us, you take it out in your marketplace as if it's your own benefit platform. It's not a company. There's no employees that work for it. It's just the name of the benefit program that you would deliver to employers. So if you're Sally with RE/MAX, we would teach you via script how to go in to a company that's local to you and offer your services up, and it would say, hey, my name's Sally. I'm with RE/MAX. We offer a real estate benefit program called Home Benefit IQ. It helps your employees make decisions when your employees need to buy and sell their most valuable asset. Best of all, it's free of charge for you as an employer. It'd be valuable to the employees. And we would be here to educate your staff and guide them through this biggest decision they'll ever make in their life, buying and selling real estate. Hey, is there any reason why next Thursday wouldn't be a good day for us to launch this program to your employees? Now there you would show them benefit ID cards, lunchroom posters. You would have a display that would show them how the employees connect to your program. Lunchroom posters tell the employee that you're part of their benefits package. Benefit ID cards, they could get sandwiched in their wallets between their medical insurance and dental insurance card. And that's what you need to do. This is creating the Costco effect or the Sam's Club effect for you. We actually have a movie, not only in this sort of format, but we have an emailable format, a little 3.5-minute movie that you can send to an employer. And that employer would feel guilty if they don't currently offer a mortgage or real estate plan to their employees. Because if you can design your system, your program to save the employees time, time is money. Why would an employer let you be part of the package that they offer their employees? The fact of the matter is that a lot of employees spend way too much time at work managing their mortgages, managing their real estate. They do. So how do you go about it? So let's help you. I want to show you what our system provides. Everything that you need so that you can go out there, sit down with an employer, and convince them that they should send their employees to you. You could build this stuff on your own. It would take you thousands of dollars, lots of experts to help you do it. The presentations, the brochures, member ID cards, really all the things, scripts. Who's going to teach you how to go in there and make a presentation to somebody that might send you 50 deals over the next 12 months? Employer proposal templates. Now let me show you this in a live setting here. I'm actually going to pull up on my screen how you really start this process. One of the tools that we've designed for you is what's called a proposal template, an employer proposal template. So to be able to sit down with an employer, I have to bring this up in a Word doc so you can actually see it. See if I can hide these things here. So you're able to, with our system, be able to put in your logos. Home Benefit IQ program, proudly provided by Skyline Home Loans. It's one of my clients. They actually made this proposal in September to the AIDS Healthcare Foundation with 1,600 employees in the Los Angeles marketplace. We write this stuff for you professionally. Residential real estate can represent one of your employees' most valuable assets. The Home Benefit IQ program provides a suite of online tools, educational resources, and a dedicated team of local lending experts. This is how you secure business, guys and gals. A proven track record since 2004, more than 3,400 employers, associations, and unions and clubs have made the Home Benefit IQ program a benefit for their employees and members. So I said I'm going to show you a live sample here. This is a proposal that would go to an employer in your community. There would be a virtual benefit ID card that would tell that employer how their employees are going to connect with you. I know it's hard to read, but at the bottom it says log in to homebenefitiq.com. That employer would be assigned a username and password. Or they can connect with you, who become the plan director. And you would have your phone number and contact information on that. You would show the employer how easy it is for their employees to connect to a benefit website that you would be able to set up with our assistance that would be co-branded to that employer. It says, welcome to Home Benefit IQ. As an AIDS Healthcare Foundation employee, we're giving you special access to the program that Skyline Home Loans is offering. This would be your information, and I'll show you that a little bit more in detail in a minute. And then it would talk about what it is that you're offering that employer, a little bit about your company, a little bit about you. This would be your information. Bev actually is the loan officer who has that relationship with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and their 1,600 employees, giving her what she needs, exposure to a lot of people who really need it. So someone's asking me a question, Mario. This is basically us selling your product. This isn't. A full license is given to you. Bev does not work for me. Bev is bringing the Home Benefit IQ program out just like you could. So Mario, I don't know who you work for, what the name of your company is. I wouldn't have anything to do with how that's done. Let me show you what the next piece of this is. After you get an employer to say, okay, now I see the value. I see how our employees would connect. I see what it is would happen with our employees. What you're able to give to the employer are the systems and tools for them to put out your message to their employees. Let me see if I can get to the right screen. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We actually have a press release that usually goes out after you've launched one of these to an employer. And the focus of that press release is on you. But before you get there, there's actually, let me get to my Outlook box here. There's actually a tool and a resource that you show the employer on how your benefit was launched. And I don't know if I can pull it up. They actually have a launch letter that tells the employees from the employer how to connect with the website that you've designed and developed for them. So let me just jump over here and show you. The employees would go here. I told you Home Benefit IQ is not an employer. I get no reward out of people coming here other than you, if you were able to bring this out to your marketplace, those employees would have a way to connect with you 24/7, 365 days a year. And when those employees log in to see what it is that you're offering, all your information is framed up. There it is. If the employee wanted to go down there and find out who their plan director is, it's you. It's your information that displays right there for them. So that's part of the systems and tools. Now I can imagine some of you would not want to be the go-to provider for an employer. But let's talk about the real numbers. What kind of business could you generate, could you expect, could you anticipate out of these workplaces? And maybe that's what I need to do to convince you that this strategy would work for you. Now, the numbers that you can generate are only as good as you getting this program, your program, out in front of these employers. If you were to take what it is that I'm going to offer you today, and I'm going to give you a stellar offer. If you wanted to be part of the program that we present today to you, I'm going to give you an offer at the end of this. It does require an investment. We can't give these tools and resources to you for free. But if you did, let me show you a little bit of the back ends of the systems. How we make this simple for you is if you're a member of our program, you would have a back end username and password login. When you get into this system, everything that you need is at your fingertips. Getting started. We have success tips, building your list of connections. What businesses in your community would you go to? Statistics for program acceptance. A worksheet that helps you design what your unique benefit is going to be to these employers. User manuals, frequently asked questions, quick start checklists, welcome page text that would display on those websites, scripts that you would use when you talk to these people, your past clients, letters and follow-up letters, launch timelines, contracts you could have these employers sign, all put together for you. We have training videos on getting your presentation skills honed so you can make a presentation, getting this program into your current and past clients' workplaces, overcoming objections, finding hidden opportunities, how to use our technology, a mock meeting with an HR manager so you can view and see how simple it is. Everything else is done. The proposal template, it's in a format that you can edit so that when you go to an employer, you have something that's customized. Letters that you can do for follow-up. Not every employer is going to say yes right away. Very few say no if you know how to propose it right, and I would personally teach you how to make these proposals so that the majority of the time the employer is going to say, yes, you can work with my employees. And then those employers, once you use these tools, you'll be able to assign to them these benefit websites, and we enable you to do it. If you wanted to launch a new benefit website for a company, and as long as you guys know how to type and fill in the blanks, you could do it. You put in the name of the company, how many employees, username, password, you upload the logo for that company, you select a template, what you want it to look and feel like, you tell this site which of your referral partners you want to have appear as preferred providers on that website. Down below here, you store in who your contacts are for that company. Only 2 contacts normally. Tammy, she's the benefit manager. Tom is the assistant. And down below here, we help you customize the landing page text that greets the employee. And as you save this information, it's one page in this database. It launches live to the web, one of these benefit websites. Your sites would never get mixed up with somebody else. And your sites would never get mixed up with somebody else's because each group that you would work with would have its own unique username and password to log in. As an employee at Widget Company, this is proposing to you your benefit. Here it's telling the employee how to connect with you. All your other service providers that you've told this site to have displayed are right there, professional partners. Maybe you have your escrow closer or your closing attorney. And maybe they're ones that are helping you get into more and more businesses because now you're not only building business for yourself, but your referral partners will love this because now you have a way to generate leads for them too because they can become the preferred provider. Any communication that comes through these gets emailed to you in real time. Our system thanks them for submitting it to you as their plan director and lets them know that you're going to be getting in contact with them shortly to guide them through the rest of the process, whether it's their need to buy a home, their need to sell a home, or their need to finance a home. And that's how you connect them with you and your team of professional services and service providers. This is about marketing, folks. If more people know you, if more people know what you do for a living, and they know how to get a hold of you, and you're making them feel like they're getting special access to the systems and programs that you're making available, your websites are public websites. I'm sorry, but if you spend a lot of money on your website and the general population is going there, there's nothing special about it. What you have to do is create the Costco or Sam's Club effect. People need to feel like they're getting something. And that's what you're doing with this system. You would get an infinite number of these. The ability to launch these things, you can launch these in about 5 minutes. So if you had a proposal you wanted to make to the hospital next week, you would come into our system, do the proposal. You would come in here, you'd set up a benefit website. You would learn our scripts, we would teach you how to do it, and then off you go. Once that employer sees what it is your proposal is, see how easy it is their employees would connect to the services you provide, then they would want to do business with you. All the rest of the systems, they're no-brainers. You can launch your referral partner pages in a matter of minutes. You can have a whole library of different people. If you're a realtor and you work with 4 different lenders, you can put in their information, and vice versa. If you're a lender working with realtors, you could put in 4 or 5 options. You could have local businesses offering services and discounts. And then when you go in and edit your websites, this is your library of these referral partners. You go back and you hit Manage Sites. I'll go in and do my site that I have for my neighborhood. I'm treating my neighborhood as a benefits group. I tell that site which of my referral partners I want to have appear. You can uniquely have a different set of referral partners on every one of these benefit sites that you have out there working for you 24/7, 365 days a year. So here's what we're going to do next. The tools that you use to communicate to the employer, they're all done. I didn't mean today to be a software demo. Not at all. What I want to do is finish this up very quickly for you. Some of you have asked on this webinar toolbar that you want to see what one of those sites looks like. Here you go, www.homebenefitiq.com. That will let you go in and see a sample of what an employer website would look like. You're going to need a username and password to get in there. It's on your screen. Widget code, WIDGETCO. I know it's a weird word, but use that as a username and password. That'll allow you to log in, and then you'll be able to see it. Now, I'd like to invite all of you to training, but I only train paying clients on this system, as you can imagine. When I roll back the training that we do, the strategic planning that we do with you to get you out there in front of these businesses, clubs, unions, school districts out there, we kind of pull back the kimono. We give you everything that you need right away. In these training sessions that we have starting on the 28th, we limit to 50 people so that we can have interaction. We'll teach you how to present yourself as a benefit provider. We'll teach you how to use our technology and leverage it so that the biggest and best employers in your city will be yours. I know some of you are already asking questions. I see one right here from Dan. Dan says, hey, why would an employer endorse me? You're going to have to earn their endorsement, Dan, but they'll let you work with their employees if you can show them that you're licensed and you've done everything that your government or your city or your state have required of you to maintain your position. What objections would they have of allowing you to help their employees achieve the American dream, buy the American dream, or save the American dream? Hidden opportunities, we talk about working with clubs, unions, and school districts, groups that are huge. We have some people on this program that are in groups as big as 68,000 people. What would it do for you in your career if you had your services in front of 68,000 people? So I know we're at the 45-minute mark. There's 8 reasons why you need to do this. If you're thinking about leaving me because you think I'm selling something to you, what I'm selling is going to help you build a business that you've always dreamed of. You'll have local companies promoting you to their people. That's exponentially marketing you. You'll have instant credibility because you become the trusted advisor. The employer is bringing you in to work with your employees, and employees revere what their employer offers. You'll have fewer shoppers. You'll have the kind of captive audience that you now need to market to so that if rates go up even more, people will still need to buy and sell homes. You'll be in front of that audience without having to do tedious things to get in front of a big audience like you do now with mailers and postcards and having to go out and network. 1 or 2 or 3 contacts will get you in front of a lot of people. And you become a hero with referral partners because you can generate leads not for yourself, or not only for yourself, but also for those referral partners that you're doing business with. They become the preferred provider with you. One of the most important things, I think, is never having to pursue a client again. Some of you chase clients. Some of you think the internet is where it's at. I think it's 87 to 97% of consumers start their search online for people like you, but only 13% end up using the people they find on the internet. They use the internet just to go out there and scout. This is telling you, according to the NAR, how consumers end up using the mortgage and real estate provider that they close with. 44% of consumers close with the person that they were told to use by one of their peers. The workplace is the major peer group people listen to. The added bonus here. Here's your book of business. A corporate book of business is something that somebody else could step into your absence, take over where you left off, and those human resource managers, those benefit managers that you have these relationships with, is something that can give you a measurable business, trackable, predictable, transferable, desirable, potentially sellable. I don't know if that's hyphenated or not, but that could lead to your exit strategy. And that's what some of you need right now most desperately. How are you going to exit from this industry with your business? I wouldn't want to buy your business. But if you had 19 or 9 corporate accounts, and I could step in and take over where you left off, then you have something of value. I have one more tool and resource for you. It's a little evaluator spreadsheet that I built. I know you're curious. Somebody said, Scott, how much pull-through rate could I get out of these groups? You set this program up that I'm offering you to one employer, 500 employees, 63% of those employees are going to be homeowners. I know that because that's the national homeownership rate. So 313 homeowners, if you're a mortgage guy or gal, once every 5 years, according to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're going to use you or need you. If you captured 100%, there's 63 deals. At a modest 35% capture rate, you capture 22 deals. You might get a few referrals out of that from those people. But if that helps you get in front of the type of employer that starts to produce $350,000 transactions, and I don't know if that's high or low for you in your area. You can do your own numbers on this thing. But if you're on this call and you do not need an $86,000 raise next year by only having to manage one corporate account, this isn't for you. And don't worry, realtors, the piece is down here for you. Once every 6 years, a homeowner does something with a realtor according to NAR. You capture 35%, that's 18 transactions next year. That'd likely double most of your businesses out there. And if that were producing $400,000 listings or people buying $400,000 homes, and that were generating 3% commission, there's your $250,000 raise next year. Now I know duplicable, something that you could duplicate, you could probably do that not only once. If you did that 5 times throughout the next year, you mortgage people on this call, there's your ticket to the kind of raise that your family needs from you right now, securing more business. If you're a realtor, you have an added advantage. There's your ticket to $1 million business. So if you don't want to grow your business, that's what I said at the beginning. I'm going to ask you to make a decision whether or not you want to grow your business today. You can go about it growing it on your own. You can go about it growing with what it is that we build. You want to download that spreadsheet, play around with it, take a look at it. It's available on the internet. Write that web address down, www.hbiqvaluator.com. It'll allow you to download that spreadsheet, save it to your desktop, plug in your numbers. If you have a client call today and you know they work somewhere and you have an idea about how many people work there, plug that number in before you call them. And then when you talk to them, ask them whether or not their company has a real estate benefit program. What will your business look like if you keep doing the things that you're doing to get your clients? I don't know. Maybe you're doing okay. But our clients say it best. Robert, could have never imagined becoming the preferred agent for a subdivision, 300 homes and homeowners. These websites, they work for homeowners associations as well as employers. Jeff and Gary, they're successful at what they do. Between those two guys, they close 400 transactions a year, upwards of $4 million a year of revenue. But what they haven't created was a predictable business, and that's why they work with me. They're tired of chasing business. They want to build it. And they want to build a business that somebody else could take over, a legacy. And maybe that's you. These businesses are waiting for you. What will your business look like if you start building it one company at a time? It's going to look drastically different. Now, I sell a system. And I know you come to these webinars to get educated. That's fine. Go out there and ask an employer if they'd send their employees to you. You never know what they're going to say. They might say yes. But if you had a system like ours, we go through a whole system of accountability. Twice a month, you work with one of our experts. In those calls, they make sure that you're held accountable. We run subscriber-only webinars every month with tips, recommendations, how to get the most capture rate out of these groups. We let you contact our other subscribers, unlimited access to a subscriber-only network forum where you can communicate with people out there in this world that are going after the same sort of business that you're doing. It's a voluntary thing. We have over 600 subscribers. 510 of those people have volunteered to be part of this network forum, and there's just a few of them here. People that are building their business one company at a time. They got tired of chasing transactions. That's why they're part of this, and we would love to have you part of that. Our patented website technology gives you an infinite number of these benefit sites, an intro video you can email to employers, market analysis request forms that are built in, newsletters that you could send to the employer. We provide content. That's all included in the package we provide. The presentation materials, we provide an initial supply of those. What would you use to sit down with the employer? And then we provide them at a very economical rate should you need to replace them. A presentation folder costs about $10 to replace, but I would teach you not to have to leave it behind at that employer. You could actually use it for your next appointment. You can see this information online. We don't hide it. We do not hide the product cost of our program. Like other programs out there, they don't put the cost of their program on the web. We do. At benefitiq.com, there's a product pricing tab. If you go there, you're going to see that our program does not cost $37,000. If you were to build the systems that we have for you on your own with training, accountability, hiring a branding expert to bring this in, hiring a developer to build exclusive benefit sites. Like I said, most of our subscribers set up about a half a dozen of those benefit websites that are username, password protected and branded to the employer. If you had to hire a web developer to set up each of those benefit sites, it cost you a fortune. Our program sells for $350. That's a monthly payment. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a long-term, predictable business that you would be building with us, and we want to be part of your business for the long haul. Coaching, accountability, the tools, the systems, everything that we built is part of that package. And it doesn't become a question of how much this costs. So if you don't feel like you can afford a program that's $350 a month, go back to that valuator, and I want you to consider looking at that valuator on what's called a return on investment. It doesn't take very many corporate accounts for you to recoup your investment of this program, right? The numbers are here. And every one of you is capable of setting up one employer. I'll even lower this down. If it's only one employer where your wife or your significant other works at, and they have 250 employees, and you've never gone there and asked if you could become the preferred provider, there's your extra 40 grand if you're the mortgage guy. If you're in real estate, there's your extra $124,000 over the next 12 months if you were to do this. So it's not a matter of how much you spend, it's how much you could make with this program. HBIQvaluator.com. Now let me give you the offer. Thank you for sticking it through. I did record today's training session and sales session for those of you that said, I didn't know I was going to be sold to. I appreciate that. I'm just an honest guy in how we do our business. And I want to make sure that you get a chance to work with us. Whether or not you've seen enough to make a decision today, that's entirely up to you. If you haven't, then I'm going to give you ample opportunity to connect with my staff, and we could actually give you a product demo. My question to you is if you can commit to growing your business, and you can do it quickly, and I like quick decision makers. Good business people can make decisions quickly, whether it's a yes or a no. Setting up and becoming a workplace marketing expert with our help isn't something that you're going to maybe, because if you maybe this thing, you're going to be maybeing yourself into 3 years from now. Oh, gosh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I shoulda. I don't want you to be that way. I'm going to give you some bonuses if you can be a fast decision maker, and these will go fast. With hundreds of you participating, we'll easily have 5 people sign up, so I want you to be one of the first 5. Bonus number 1, I'll guarantee your spot in our upcoming online workplace marketing training series. Begins October 28th. We run that series on a Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday. It's a series of 4. They're about 1 hour in duration. We do record them, but you have to be one of our subscribers to be part of them. We limit that to 50 people. My team will double the initial supply presentation packages from 10 to 20. A little bit of a value there, probably over a $100 value. Bonus number 3. My time is probably the most precious thing to me. I love spending time with my family. But if you're one of the first 5, I'll make sure that your coaching and accountability session is led by me. I've been doing this longer and at a more effective rate than anybody else out there in the United States. I would help you. We would talk about your marketplace. We would talk about your life, what you want to grow, your business to be like, how big or small do you want to make it. And we would get you to your goals very quickly through that process. It's not technically prospecting. If they call you, you need these employers sending their employees to you. And if you want them, we can help you come to this spot where you would have 4 or 5 businesses sending their employees to you month after month, year after year, or even beyond your career. So if you're ready to start growing your business, working smarter, thinking bigger, and earning more, we're here to help. If you have questions, you can dial our office, 888-245-7433. We're in the local Seattle metropolitan marketplace. That number's down below as well. If you're ready to sign up and want to be part of those first 5 people that get those special bonuses, you can go to benefitiq.com, click the Join Now button, and we'll help you start building your business one company at a time. Thank you for your time. I look forward to the opportunity to help you build your business. And if you're not currently turning your clients into corporate accounts, you're leaving tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. I appreciate your time. Someone's asking questions about whether or not their company gets special deals. Sterling, absolutely. We've worked with Sterling for a long time. Guild Mortgage is another company. Some of you from Remax, John L. Scott, we actually have a little bit different pricing structure for you. So do call our office and ask our team. We do also offer a multiple user license to our program as well. So if you want a specific quote for your need for additional, call us, W.J. Bradley. Yes, call our office. Thank you very much. So you'll need to call us. We'll work through that with you, and we'll help you. Thank you for your time. I'll stop.